So there we have it. Our roasted pork, slow roasted pork, tostadas with mango avocado salsa and teriyaki sauce. Okay, so now we're gonna make the marinade. First, you wanna chop up one red onion, a bulb, yeah. Now you wanna make horizontal cuts, but not cutting all the way through. You wanna cut only until right before you reach the end. Keep going, and try to make as many as you can. So now you wanna cut vertically downwards, but you wanna avoid cutting all the way towards the end, so that you can keep the whole onion intact. And then after, just chop away. We're not trying to keep our cuts as clean as possible here because we're gonna discard this after the marination process. Next, we're gonna include maybe about 3 to 4 garlic cloves. Do the same thing as you did with the onion, horizontally but not towards the end. And then vertically but also not until the end. And chop away. We're gonna include half a lemon. Like all marinades, they should include any form of acid, vinegar, lemon, calamansi. That way it can help soften up the meat and tenderize whatever else there is you need to tenderize. Now we're gonna include 1 bay leaf. Before adding the bay leaf, you wanna crack it, smell it. If you don't smell anything, just throw it away, use another one. Next, we're gonna add what helps Mexican food taste Mexican, cumin powder. Maybe just 1.5 teaspoon. About 1.5 teaspoon of coriander seeds. It's about 2.5 paprika powder. These will help give the smoky flavor to your dish. And then we can add annatto powder. Annatto powder is also like paprika. It helps act as a coloring agent, makes it more red, but it also has a flavor profile stronger than paprika. Now we're going to add here some neutral based oil. Oil also helps prevent whatever you're marinating dry out. It helps give it moisture. Now we're going to add some Japanese soy sauce. Now, it's okay to add this because up around northern Mexico, they have Chinese and Japanese flavors in their food. They have like bonito flakes, they use soy sauce here. I'm gonna add maybe 3.5. You don't want to add too much because soy sauce contains a lot of sodium, and sodium draws out moisture of whatever product it is you're marinating. So if you put too much, that's why you don't want to put salt in anything you're marinating, because it draws out moisture and it's gonna make your product end up being very dry. We're gonna mix this. 3 main components a marinade should have is acid, fat, and whatever flavoring agent you'll add. Then from there on, you just build whatever else you want to add. Now the acid in a marinade helps tenderize and break down the fibers of the meat that you're going to marinate. So it helps it make it softer, especially if you're going to marinate something of a tougher cut, like maybe a shoulder or anything that has a lot of workforce to put into it. And fat helps keep whatever product you are marinating moist. So now we're using what we have here, what we're gonna marinate, which is the ham cut. And what you want to do is you want to score the skin. Scoring also, aside from giving an aesthetic appeal to the dish, helps the heat penetrate much easier. And now I'm also gonna do it on the other side. I'm gonna display it skin side up, but this is gonna serve as a way for it to help the heat penetrate much easier. We're going to marinate the meat. We're gonna take our marinade rub. You don't want to add any salt to this because, again, sodium draws out moisture, and we already have Japanese soy sauce in here. So now we're gonna put this in the chiller and we're gonna have it marinate for about overnight or up to 12 hours. Okay, so we've been marinating for this for about 24 hours now, and now there's like a lot of stuff here. You see like the garlic, the onions, and some of the coriander seeds that weren't pulverized enough. These could burn. We want to wash it off. Make sure you have a strainer so that it doesn't clog your sink. We're gonna pat the skin dry so that it crisps up later in the oven. Pat this dry. Shout out to Jollibee. Just dry it up, and yeah. So we preheated our oven to 220 degrees Celsius, and we're gonna shove our pork in there for about 10 minutes. You want the high heat so that it could develop a crust right away. So it's like searing a steak. You want to develop a crust. It cooks outside, but the inside is still raw. But the outside gets cooked, and there's like a nice development of caramelization and the Maillard effect. After 10 minutes of 220, we want to turn it down to about 130 degrees Celsius and let it roast for about 3 to 4 hours. That way it's slow cooking, and it will tenderize the meat when it slow cooks. It penetrates it slowly and helps it retain its moistness. We'll also be basting it every 15-30 minutes, so that we'll baste it with its own juices and maybe some extra butter so that it doesn't dry out. Chef, you know what I'm saying. You already know what I'm trying to explain, okay, Chef? But for those who don't know, tougher cuts, slower cooking methods, slower and low, slow and low, slow and low, 120 for 3 hours. Okay, so now we're still developing the crust. While that's happening, I want to make the mango avocado salsa, right? So we got mangoes. Actually, I'll cut the onion first, red onions. So we're gonna cut these into jardiniere, which is 0.5 by 0.5 by 0.5. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Offcuts are here, but fine, I'll just OC 0.5. Now we're gonna cut our onion next. Mango. Mango, we know that there's a seed in the middle, so we want to cut this into 3. Now, usually people score it, then take it out. No, we're gonna take it out first because we want to follow the jardiniere, 0.5 by 0.5 by 0.5, right? 0.5, 0.5. Next, to our mango avocado salsa is avocados. Now, how to cut an avocado? There's a seed in the middle. We want to cut around the seed, twist, open, oh, falls off like a baby from a womb. We're gonna do the same thing with the mango. We're gonna remove it from the skin. We have here our mango avocado salsa. Now we are going to squeeze. And we add some olive oil. Help give it some moisture. We're gonna add cilantro, and this isn't parsley, so you want to include the stems. These guys, most flavorful. I love cilantro. I can't tell you how much I do. So we're gonna chop them up and add them to the salsa. Here. In you go. Bam, 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 bam. Mix it. Season the taste, of course. So if that bam, bam, bam wasn't enough, add some more bams. It's really good though. Now we're going to make our teriyaki sauce. So first, we'll have at least
1, 2, 3, 4.
5 cloves of garlic and a thumb of ginger. See, the thumb. We're gonna saute our ginger. Bring your garlic, and we'll deglaze a bit with some, maybe 3 tablespoons of Japanese soy sauce. Kiko man. Whatever. A little more muscovado. It's not teriyaki without the muscovado. The starch slurry is 50%. It's just half and half of cornstarch and water. Just keep stirring. Actually pretty good. So we have here a wok, and we're gonna put this wok, fill it with oil. We're gonna bring this oil up to 160, 180 degrees Celsius. Now we have here our whole wheat tortillas, Texas style. I added some baking powder in them so that it would create aeration when it gets in contact with heat. Ready? So this is the pork roast. We'll cut into it, see how it looks inside. Oh, wow. Before you cut into anything, any kind of meat that you've been cooking, you want to rest it for at least 10 minutes. Because if you don't, all the juices is gonna fall out, gonna spill out. Now we'll assemble. So we have our tostada. We have our salsa. Our pork meat. A roast pork. Sweet teriyaki sauce. And garnish with some cilantros. So there we have it. Our roasted pork, slow roasted pork, tostadas with mango avocado salsa and teriyaki sauce. Let's take a bite. I want to show you guys the crunch of this thing. Look at that fat, guys. It's actually really good. See you next time.